We must transcend our petty selves. Forget our hurts and bitterness. Cast aside thought of revenge, and let sanity, reason, and above all, love of country prevail during our gravest hour. The only advice I can give you: live with honor and follow your conscience. There is no greater nation on earth than our motherland, no greater people than our own. Serve them with all your heart, with all your might, and with all your strength. I will never be able to forgive myself if I will have to live with the knowledge that I could have done something and I did not do anything. What can one man do if the Filipino people love their slavery? If the Filipino people have lost their voice and would not say no to a tyrant, what can one man do? I have not army, I have no following, I have no money, and I only have my indomitable spirit. I believe that the Filipino will respond to the call to greatness not by coercion, but by persuasion, not by intimidation, but through the ways of freedom. We should not depend on one man. We should depend on all of us. All of us are expendable in the cause for freedom, and therefore I say stand up now and be a leader, and when all of us are leaders, we will expedite the cause of freedom. We must not only preserve yesterday's heritage, fight for today's ephemeral interests, but die if need be for tomorrow's hopes. A time comes in a man's life when he must prefer a meaningful death to a meaningless life. I have weighed all the virtues and faults of the Filipinos, and I have come to the conclusion that the Filipino is worth dying for. It takes little effort to stop a tyrant. I have no doubt in the ultimate victory of right over wrong, of evil over good, in the awakening of the Filipino. The great legitimizer of government is the ballot, not the bullet. I could have opted to seek political asylum in America, but I feel it is my duty, as it is the duty of every Filipino, to suffer with his people, especially in time of crisis. My friends, do not forget that your readiness to suffer will light the torch of freedom which can never be put out. Do not forget that we who are now in the middle of our years must inspire the youth when they are almost in the brink of despair. Do not forget that the purpose of life is precisely re-examining our being, not merely a floating flotsam in the floods of time. Do not forget, as Longfellow said, that we should never be like driven cattle, but be a hero in the strife. The moment you say no to tyranny, you are beginning the struggle, the long lonely road to freedom. And so I ask this afternoon, please say no and learn to say no. No to tyranny. No to corruption. No to all this degradation of human dignity. Because then, I feel the true air of your fathers who before you have shed their blood for our freedoms. I do not hold the key to our liberation. I do not know all the solutions to our many problem. All I know is that if the situation continues in the Philippines, then blood will flow, and when blood flows, there will be no victor, and there will be no vanquished, because all of us will be victim of our folly. First we must return the freedom, so that all segments of our community, whether from left or from the right, will have the right to speak, and then, in that open debate, in that clash of debate, in the marketplace we will produce the clash between the thesis and the antithesis, and then we will have synthesis for the Filipino people.